What's up, everybody? Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, back with another Daily Deck Tech video, and today we have another viewer request, and a little bit of an interesting one today. So I'm going to introduce our commander here in a moment, but if you like what I'm doing over here at the Hidden Gibbon, the deck techs, discussion, budget content, feel free to subscribe, only if you feel I've earned it. Starting up a few things and getting them moving here, and it's been pretty fun, but without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? So we have Extus Auric Overlord. So he's a 2/4 for 1 generic, 1 white, double black, has double strike, and magecraft. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, return target non-legendary creature card from your graveyard to your hand. I'm going to tell you, this guy doesn't matter. He doesn't matter at all, because the viewer request was for an Extus deck that only really focuses on the backside, and the backside is Awaken the Blood Avatar. It is a sorcery for 6 generic, and then Rakdos. As an additional cost to cast a spell, you may sacrifice any number of creatures. The spell costs 2 less to cast for each creature sacrificed this way. And then each opponent sacrifices a creature, and then you create a 3/6 black and red avatar creature token with haste, and whenever this creature attacks, it deals 3 damage to each opponent. So, we are using the Extus half of this to give us access to white pips, but our entire focus in this game is going to be trying to generate as many avatars as possible and playing Awaken the Blood Avatar as much as possible. So we're going to need a lot of creatures, and to do that we're going to have a lot of tokens. So let's get into our packages, shall we? So first, we have a classic Adeline Resplendent Cathar. She's a star 4 for 3, vigilance, and her power is equal to the number of creatures you control. And whenever you attack, for each opponent, create a 1/1 white human creature token that's tapped and attacking that player or planeswalker they control. This will get you a few tokens, especially if you get her into play early. You can get a few of those tokens to live, build up, sacrifice them, get your avatars out there. We have Animpakal, Thousandth Moon. I love this card. It's a 1/2 for 3, and whenever you attack with 1 or more non-gnome creatures, put a 1/1 counter on Animpakal, then create X 1/1 colorless gnome artifact creature tokens that are tapped and attacking, where X is the number of 1/1 counters on Animpakal. Synergizes pretty well with Adeline. We have Aziza, Mage Tower Captain. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may tap 3 untapped creatures you control. If you do, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. We have quite a few spells in here that generate tokens, so tapping a few of our other tokens to generate even more tokens is a great time. We have Bitterbloom Bearer. It's a Bitter Blossom on a 1/1 body. It's a 2/2 for 1, or sorry, a 1/1 for 2, flash, flying, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and you create a blue and black fairy rogue creature token with flying. We have Blood Artist. Whenever this creature or another creature dies, target player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. This is excellent, considering we're going to be sacrificing a whole lot of our tokens to create blood avatars. We have Caesar, or in the original Latin, Kaisar, Legion's Emperor, 4/4 for 1 generic, and Mardu. Whenever you attack, you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, choose 2. Create 2 tokens, so you can sacrifice 1 token to generate 2 tokens with haste that are tapped and attacking. You draw a card and lose a life, or Kaisar, Legion's Emperor, deals damage equal to the number of creature tokens you control to target opponent. We have Cruel Celebrant, whenever it or another creature or planeswalker you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Doomed Traveler, so whenever it dies, you create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. We have Ishin, 2 heavens as 1. So Ishin is in here, so that way we can trigger our attack triggers multiple times. You know, we have Animpakal that triggers. We have Adeline that triggers. We have our blood avatars that are going to trigger. All of those are incredibly good, as well as, you know, Kaisar as well. You know, so Ishin's just really good here. We have Mahadi, Emporium Master. At the beginning of your end step, create a creature token, or sorry, a treasure token for each creature that died this turn. Holy cow, friends, I need to go draw a clock. Mayhem Devil, 3/3 for 3. Whenever a player sacrifices a permanent, Mayhem Devil deals 1 damage to any target. This is whenever a player, so if your opponents are sacrificing things as well, you get to also poke things. We have Mirkwood Bats. Whenever you create or sacrifice a token, each opponent loses 1 life. So as you can see, we're setting up a redundancy here, because This does cost 8, and even if we sacrifice a lot of tokens, Commander Tax is going to make it exponentially more expensive, and so we do have to have backup plans. So generic token combat is a good backup plan. Monastery Mentor, Prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 white monk. Creature token with Prowess. We have Mondrak and Ogier Tak to double and triple up our tokens, respectively. Ogier also can become its temple version here. We have Opiomancer, which gets us a little snack token that we can sacrifice. Pitiless Plunder. Whenever another creature you control dies, create a treasure token. When we're sacrificing all of these creatures to our, Blood Avatar card, gets us treasures, which will then help us cast it as it gets larger. We have Prismaria Pianist. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell, create a 1/1 blue and red elemental creature token. If that spell mana value is 5 or greater, create 3 of those tokens instead. This goes extremely well with the Awaken the Blood Avatar. We have Sedgemoor Witch, Ward, pay 3 life, which is essentially not a ward at all in Commander. Menace and Magecraft. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell or copy one, create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token with when this creature dies, gain 1 life. Which is excellent because we are running things in here that ping you, like Blitterbloom Tender, and also we're running Bitter Blossom and Skrelv's Hive and Dreadhorde Invasion in here. So, we're going to have to recoup some life. Silver Quill, the Disputant. Each instant sorcery spell you cast has casualty 1, so you can sacrifice something with at least 1 power. You get to copy it. You can choose new targets. We have Young Pyromancer. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery, create a 1/1 elemental creature token. Then, for our sorceries, we have Blot Out the Sky, which has incredibly similar artwork to Inkshield, and I often get the 2 cards confused in my collection when I'm looking for one or the other. But it creates X-Tap 2/1 white and black Inkling creature tokens with flying. If X is 6 or more, destroy all non-creature, non-land permanents. We have Hordling Outburst. It creates 3 goblins. Or, if you use one of those copy effects and things like that, you get to create 6 goblins. Krenko's Command, create 2 goblins. Martial Coup, create a bunch of soldiers. If it's 5 or more, you get to wrath everything. Knight's Whisper, draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. Rally the Hornberg, create 2 1/1 white human creature tokens, and humans gain haste. And then White Sun's Twilight, which is like Martial Coup, but instead you gain X life and you create X 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature tokens that have Toxic 1, so a win condition in and of themselves, and this creature can't block, and if X is 5 or more, you'll destroy all other creatures. For instance, we have Afterlife Insurance, which is creatures you control gain Afterlife until end of turn, and then you draw a card, which Afterlife is when a creature with Afterlife 1 dies, create a 1/1 white and black spirit creature token with flying. So if you have a whole bunch of tokens out there, what you're going to do is you're going to cast this, draw your card, giving, say, your 8 or 9 tokens Afterlife. You're going to sack them to summon the Blood Avatar, which then will generate a whole bunch more of spirits and potentially let you cast the spell more than once in a turn. We have Anguish Unmaking for removal. We have Deadly Dispute to let us draw some cards. You sacrifice an artifact or creature to draw 2 cards and create a treasure token. Big Score lets you discard a card, draw 2 cards, create 2 treasures. We have Blood for the Blood God. Since we're summoning a Blood Avatar, we may as well have Blood for the Blood God in here. I love this spell as well. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature card that died this turn. For each creature that died this turn, not creature card. Discard your hand, then draw 8 cards. Blood for the Blood God deals 8 damage to each opponent. Exile Blood for the Blood God. This card synergizes incredibly well with Summon the Blood Avatar. You're going to sacrifice a bunch of tokens anyway, which is going to make your Blood Avatar card cost cheaper. And then you're going to be able to also have Blood for the Blood God be cheap and cast this. And it's just a double whammy of absolute damage. And it draws you 8 cards, which is also incredibly good. We have Body Count, which is Spectacle, so you can cast it for its Spectacle cost instead of its regular mana cost. If an opponent lost life this turn, draw a card for each creature that died under your control this turn. This can also net you just an absolute ton of cards. We have Chaos Warp. It's Chaos Warp. Corrupted Conviction, sack a creature, draw 2 cards. Despark is some removal. Flare of Duplication. Go ahead, you can duplicate Blood for the Blood God or any of your token creators or any of your removal, but duplicating is really good in this. Body Count, another one. Fracture, destroy target artifact, creature, or artifact, enchantment, or planeswalker. Frontline Rush, you can create 2 goblins, or target creature gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. So if you have a big old avatar out there already, you can make it even bigger. We have Fury Storm, which is when you cast a spell, copy it. For each time you've cast your commander from the command zone this game, you may choose new targets for the copies, which is pretty good. Copy target instant or sorcery spell, you may choose new targets for the copies. So say you've cast Summon the Blood Avatar like 4 times, right? Which is realistic in this deck. You could cast it again and cast Fury Storm, which then has a Fury Storm on the stack, as well as 4 more Fury Storms on the stack. So then you have 5 Fury Storms, which then you use on your Blood Avatar. So your opponents will have to sacrifice 5 creatures. You get 5 of those avatars, which then can immediately swing in, at which each of them deal 3 damage when they attack to each opponent, right? That's nothing to balk at. We do have Generous Gift in here for some removal. Ink Shield is for fog and generates tokens. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to you this turn. For each 1 damage prevented this way, create a 2/1 black Inkling creature token with flying. We have Path to Exile in here for removal. Raise the Alarm for some tokens. Rootborn Defense to protect our creatures and also populate. Secure the Waste generates a bunch of tokens. Stroke of Midnight for removal. Swords for removal. Terminate for removal. Village Rites for some draw, you sack and draw 2. Will of the Mardu, you choose 1, create a number of 1/1 red warrior creature tokens equal to the number of creatures target player controls. You can choose yourself, or if your opponent has a ton, choose them. Or it deals damage to target creature equal to the number of creatures you control, so it can act as removal as well. For artifacts, we are running Skull Clamp. It's our only artifact in here, friends. It's our one singular artifact. It's here to draw us cards off of our tokens. Enchantments, we have a Johnny's Welcome. This is a great way to help stabilize ourselves as Bitter Blossom and Skrell's Hive and Bitterbloom Tender tink us down every single turn. It's whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. Anointed Procession, if an effect would create 1 or more tokens under your control, it creates twice that many tokens. Black Market, whenever a creature dies, put a charge counter on Black Market. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you get a black mana for each one of those. This also synergizes incredibly well with our Commander Sorcery spell, because we're going to be sacrificing all of those tokens, which then add counters onto Black Market, which then help us be able to cast it even more. We have Takacia's Welcome. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control with mana value 3 or less enter, draw a card. Triggers only once you turn. Bitter Blossom, you lose 1 life. You make a fairy at the beginning of your upkeep. Skrell's Hive, you lose a life. You create a Phyrexian Might, and if your opponent, as long as an opponent has 3 or more poison counters on them, your creatures with Toxic have lifelink, which is not anything to balk at with this little mites. Dreadhorde Invasion, at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life, and amass zombies 1. And then whenever a zombie token you control with 6 or greater attacks, it gains lifelink. We have Assemble the Legion. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a muster counter on Assemble the Legion. Then create a 1/1 white and red soldier creature token with haste for each muster counter on Assemble the Legion. We have Bastion of Remembrance, which is when it enters, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 and you gain 1. And then Endless Foot Assault, which has Squad, so every time you pay Squad, it copies it. Whenever you attack, for each opponent, create a 1/1 black ninja creature token that's tapped and attacking that player. For lands, we are running 36, which 38 is like the preferred, but you know, we have a lot of little token things and ways to cheat on our mana, so I think 36 is fine in here. We have 9 mountains, 11 plains, 11 swamps, we have our check lands, we have an ETB tapped, and we have a command tower. So that is the build. Let's go ahead and take a look at the playtest, shall we? So we have it in here. We zoom out by 1. I am going to put Exodus right here because in the command zone, unless there's something I'm missing, I can't look at it. So we are going to turn it over. So we have our thing here. We are starting with a mountain, a plains, a swamp, and a swamp in our hand. Considering we are running 36 lands, this actually isn't the worst thing that we can do. So let's draw for our turn, shall we? We're going to drop a command tower down, and we're going to pass our turn. Pretty simple, straightforward. I am next going to play a plains, and I'm going to play Dreadhorde Invasion. This nets us an army at the beginning of our upkeep. So we start our turn, we get a army zombie army. Zombie army creature token right here. And we're going to add a counter onto it. So we already have ourselves a 1/1. We're going to go ahead and play our mountain. And we are actually going to play Adeline. Turn 3, not bad. Next turn, we lose another life. We add a counter. And our Adeline can attack now. We have a mountain or a swamp, so we're going to drop our Dragon Skull Summit. We are going to drop our Mahadi in here. And then we're going to attack with our zombie and our Adeline. We may as well, right? Adeline then will create 3 soldiers. So we're just going to go here and go to human soldier. We're going to create 3 of them. And we're going to say that one of them dies. So we only have 2 that are tapped and attacking. So now we have 1, 2, 3 creatures. We have 6 counting towards this, but we don't have enough mana otherwise. So at the beginning of our end step, we get to create a treasure token because we did have a creature die this turn. So we go down here and we create a treasure token. Pretty sweet. Oh, why is she tapped? Sometimes even I make mistakes. Beginning of our upkeep, we of course tick down 1. We add a counter here. We are going to play a swamp. So we're going to hold these over here in reserve. These are to cast our Awaken the Blood Avatar. We're going to attack. We may as well get some of this in while we can. This creates 3 more tokens, and we're going to say that we, again, are going to keep all but 2. All but 1. So we're going to have 4 here. 2 of which were tapped and attacking. Now we have 4. So now, at the beginning of our end step here, or not end step, main phase 2, I'm going to tap here, and I'm going to sack the 2 tapped ones and 1 of the untapped ones, bringing us down to there. That goes 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, and we're going to cast Awaken the Blood Avatar. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. We create a 3/6 avatar with haste. Now, yes, we're losing a little value because it didn't attack this turn, but So, I'm going to put a counter on this to signify that we've cast it once, and then we have next turn. We're going to drop a swamp down. We, of course, are going to tick up our zombie, and we are going to tick our life down 1. So, we have our 3/6 avatar, and what I'm actually going to do this turn is I'm going to take this and tap for 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, actually for 6. And I'm going to play Endless Foot Assault, and I'm going to squat it twice. So 3, 4, 5. Oh, sorry, I counted wrong. No, I did. I counted right. I'm dumb. Set counters to 2. So we have 3 Endless Foot Assaults. That's pretty good. Now, all we have to do is attack with 1 token here. He's going to die, but he's going to generate me 3 foot soldiers for each person we're attacking. So that's 9 tokens right there, plus 3 from Adeline. So that's a whole bunch, right? Just an absolute whole bunch. Also, I forgot to create treasures for Mahdi, so I should have 3 treasures over here as well. So we're going to be able to cast the avatar thing again. Oh yeah, this should also be attacking as well. And so should this. And then, you know, we're going to sacrifice a bunch of those tokens. That gets us Mahdi things again, and then you see how the engine just starts a-cooking from there. Of course, if people wrath you, you're going to have to reset, but you still will have Dreadhorde Invasion and Endless Foot Assault on the board, which means all you have to do is get your zombie token to attack once, and you're going to start generating a ton of tokens again. That's the build, that's the playthrough. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. This deck seems like a lot of fun. I hadn't heard of Extus or Awaken the Blood Avatar before this viewer request came in, so because I didn't have a lot of experience with the original Strixhaven set. But if you want to see your commander made into a deck tech, drop it in the comments down below. And as always, I'm Weston with the Hidden Gibbon, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. What's up?